We are continuing today in the third chapter, Parak Gimel of Mesillas Yesharim, and the Ramchal writes as follows: So remember again here in the Shara Zehirus, so the Ramchal is speaking about again the need to be contemplative and thoughtful about what one does and how one acts. So we've spoken about this on many different levels: the pre-actional analysis, the post-actional analysis, even again the Maisim Tovim, one's good deeds, an actual analysis. And again here the Ramchal says this idea, this cheshbon, this analysis or thoughtfulness or awareness of one's actions is incredibly important. The Gemara quotes the pasuk that actually refers to Sichon, the great king, the powerful Canaanite king. Therefore, the rulers will say, "Come to Cheshbon, the city that Sichon built." So the Gemara Mesillas Baba Basra has a little bit of a play on this pasuk, and they write, "Al kin yomru hamoshlim biyitzram bo v'nechashiv cheshbono shel olam." Hefsed mitzvah keneged schara, uschara deger keneged hefseda. So the Gemara dashes it by saying, "Al kin yomru hamoshlim," those who want to rule over their Yetzer Hara, over their desires, their proclivities, and their wants, what do they have to do? Ba'u cheshbon. They have to approach life with a sense of cheshbon. Cheshbon means like a calculation. What are the calculations of life? Ultimately, again, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. What will advance me towards the tov ha'amiti, the ultimate good? What will advance me chas v'shalom to the ra ha'amiti, the negative? That's the cheshbon. That's the calculation. That's the awareness that a person has to bring to life. Literally translated, he says over here, you have to calculate what you lose from doing a mitzvah versus what you gain, and conversely, what you gain from committing an avera and what you lose. V'zeh, ki ha'etzah ha'amitis hazos lo yuchlu lases osa v'lo liros amita ela osam shekvar yatzu mitachas yad yitzram umashlu bo. This is incredible. The Ramchal says that the ability to appreciate the midah of zihirus is really only fully appreciated, only understood by those who live a life like this, and who have gone ahead and really have been able to escape the clutches of the Yetzer Hara. Because remember, as we spoke about before, the Yetzer Hara, one of the primary tactics of the Yetzer Hara is to make us so busy so that we don't even have the time to contemplate the concept of contemplation. Because someone who is still incarcerated by the shackles of the Yetzer Hara isn't able to see the need for life introspection, analysis, zihirus. Ki hayetzer mesameis ein of mamish, v'nei kaholech b'choshech sheyesh lefanam mishalos, ve'ein ein of ra'os osam. Harkening back to a previous mashal, a life without zihirus, a person is blind. When a person is blind, they don't even see the pitfalls that are waiting for them. V'hu ma'asha amru zichron levracha, tashes choshech v'yilayla, zeh ha'olam hazeh shadom l'layla. V'haven, kama nifla ha'ma'amar ha'amiti azel misha ma'amik lahavin bo. And see how incredibly profound this is. Now here he's quoting this pasuk from Tehillim, that literally tashes choshech v'yilayla, that ultimately again one is surrounded by darkness and it becomes night. The Ramchal says, what does this mean? Ki hine choshech halayla shnei mine tayos eshelo shigrom la'ina adam. When a person is in the darkest part of the night, there are two possible mistakes that a person can make. On one hand, the darkness could prevent me from seeing anything at all. That's one level of mistake. So it's incredible. And David HaMelech says that Tashes Choshech V'Layla, that a person is enveloped by darkness and night, and therefore a person can make mistakes. The Ramchal says there's two elements, or there's two components to the mistakes that a person can make at night. Number one, because it's dark, ultimately you don't see things, and because you don't see things, you could trip over them, you could get hurt. The other possibility is that you mistake things. I think I see a pillar, but it's really a person. Or I think I see a person, but it's really a pillar. Sometimes when a person is so embedded in the material world and has not yet acquired the midah of zihirus, a person could unfortunately make these two levels of mistakes. Ha'achos, the noflim va'ovdim mibli she'egiem apachat trila. So mistake number one, says Ramchal, is that ultimately a person doesn't see the stumbling blocks. that sometimes I'm so blinded by the physicality and materialism of the world. And again, as we mentioned many times, the Ramchal is not advocating for an ascetic lifestyle. That's not what he's saying at all. He's talking about a person who makes his pursuit in life of the material. All I want is the material. My entire focus of my existence is the material. A person who's so embedded in the material of life obviously also does not have, or does not yet possess, the midah of zihiros. And as a result, that person is like an individual walking in the nighttime. The challenge of walking in night is, number one, you don't see the obstacles. You don't see the obstacles. And you don't even see them coming, ultimately, until you trip over them. He says, quotes the pasuk from Mishlei, the way of the wicked is in darkness. They don't even know what they are stumbling over. Va'omer, arum ra'a v'nistar upesayim avru v'nanshu. Omer uksilmis abra oboteach ki libam bari lahem kuulam v'noflim terem yedu me'amechshot. So it quotes a couple of different psukim that all attest to this same basic theme, but it's this idea that sometimes when someone is so embedded in the material physical world and has not yet acquired the midah of zihiros, their entire life becomes one of darkness. And what's the challenge of darkness? You don't even see the obstacles. You don't even see it. And by the time you do see it, you've already fallen. It's certainly too late to prevent damage. And sometimes, once the damage is done and once I've fallen, it's so much more difficult to get back up. We're going to stop over here for today. The Ramchal is going to continue in the next shiur with the second mistake that a person could make when walking in the darkness. But we'll pick that up next time. Wishing everyone a wonderful day and a Gemara Chasima Tova.